Hello, everyone. Welcome to Williamsport, Pennsylvania. My name is Randy Williamson, and I teach construction trades here at the Williamsport Area High School. Williamsport's a smaller urban town with roughly about 30,000 people. We're located here in north central Pennsylvania. A couple fun facts about Williamsport that we are known for. Little League baseball started here in Williamsport, and every year we host the World in August for the Little League World Series. So usually when people hear Williamsport, they think Little League World Series. Another fun fact was in the late 1800s, Williamsport was known as the lumber capital of the world. And per capita, we had more millionaires than any other town, which is why our nickname, Williamsport Millionaires, that's where that came from. We have approximately 1,400 students in our high school. Very diverse student population. We have 14 career and technical education programs housed right here in the high school. In addition to our students, we have two sending schools, South Williamsport and Loyalsock, send their students to our program. So I was fortunate enough to win the Harbor Freight Tools for Schools second place prize in 2017. Since then, Harbor Freight has been blessing our program with tools, connections, and ideas ever since, and their mission to bring awareness to the skilled trades program here and across the country. I will forever be thankful and grateful to Harbor Freight for their vision, commitment to our programs and students, and recognizing the work involved to teach these programs. Last year, one of the ideas that Harbor Freight proposed was a student-led community grant. When I read the email, I immediately shared it with our student chapter kids, and they were very interested in it from the onset. The student chapter is a construction club we have here at the high school. We're part of the National Association of Home Builders. We're endorsed by the Pennsylvania Builders Association. And to be endorsed, you have to have the student chapter. So that's why we have the construction club. We do a lot of extracurricular things with their club and such, and this is one of them. So we had three students in particular. Kristen Goodman, she was a junior. And president of our chapter. Ethan Young and Warren Robinson were both seniors and members of our student chapter, and they ran with the idea. So what we did was we decided to reach out to our mayor, who was a previous math teacher here at the high school, and he came back with several ideas for our students to think about and choose from to help better our community. From the list that Mayor Slaughter provided our students, they chose the Brandon Park Rehabilitation Project. One of the cool aspects of these community grants is the recognition it brings to the program. We had a lot of coverage from the local news stations, including WNEP. And WNEP's video that they shot, Kristen Goodman and Ethan did a great job of explaining our grant project. And since it was a student-led grant, I will let them share the project with you.
If you've driven through Brandon Park in Williamsport this week, you may have noticed some construction at the baseball field. When you look close, you'll notice it's young people working on the dugouts.
We're doing co-ops this summer, which means we get to go out and work with someone like on the actual job site. So this is a great experience for us to go out and do that on our own. We're getting a little pre-co-op experience.
The students are from the construction and trades class at Williamsport Area High School. The class recently received a $5,000 grant through Harbor Freight's Better Together program. The class is using that money to spruce up the baseball field at Brandon Park.
We're redoing the roofs on both of these dugouts. There's a bathhouse back there that needs fixed, and if we can get to it, we're going to be doing this concession stands roof as well.
The students were supervised by their teacher, Randy Williamson, but mostly managed the project on their own.
So it just brings it to life. It's like the curriculum that we're covering in the classroom. You get to come in out here and apply it in a much larger scale.
The students tell Newswatch 16 this is a great way to get hands-on experience outside the classroom.
It's so cool to see all of our stuff brought together and actually use the skills we're putting in class.
Some of the lessons that you don't get in the classroom is the importance of snapping straight lines or running string lines to set your rafters to and stuff. When you're on a 30-foot building, that helps the kids understand that part of it.
The students say this project is something they can be proud of.
So Kristen, Ethan, Warren, and myself, we all met at the park after talking to Mayor Slaughter with Scott Livermore, who is Williamsport's Director of Public Department of Public Works. After he described the scope of the project, our students went to town taking measurements and pictures. The next day, we got back into the high school, back to the classroom, and they started calculating materials to complete the project. They reached out to our local lumber company, got the prices. Once we got all the prices back, then Kristen went ahead and wrote the grant requesting $5,000 to fund the rehabilitation of the community park. We received the grant and the planning and organizing commenced. This is where our student leaders get a real education that you can't always teach here in the classroom, organizing a real job site. We reached out to a couple past retired CTE teachers, the one still a school board member here at the high school, and they volunteered to help out at the park so that we had some other adult supervision and stuff. The kids had to make sure that we had all the necessary tools loaded in a trailer, proper amount of materials. You know, they take for granted when we're here at the school, we always have materials. They just magically appear for the kids to work with. Tools are always in the cabinet. When you're off site, you have to make provisions for all that stuff to be there and be on time. You know, dealing with the lumber yard for delivery, dealing with the school district, proposing the idea to them and getting the board to approve the event, getting parent permissions, transportation of the students. How are we going to feed the students? They took charge and organized all that. While we were there on the day to make it happen, the kids organized 3 different teams because we had 3 different individual projects going on that needed completed, and they did a great job with that. We had approximately 20 students in total involved in the project. And I got to say, as a teacher, it was very enjoyable watching student leaders develop during that project and take on the managing roles. Construction, I would say, if nothing else, is an exercise in communication. Each team member having a role that may change as problems arise with weathers, materials, labor changes. The ability to continually contribute by actively adding value is a skill that must be experienced. So many people benefited from the project. The field that we worked on is not only used by the community for public recreation, but it's also a home field to our neighboring Catholic school. The coach of the Catholic school came over and personally thanked our students for the improvements. He was extremely grateful. Fields adjacent to the park that we were at are used by the Williamsport Area Little League. Anyone who regularly attends the park, games, or lives near the park benefits from the project. Our school program and students got positive recognition, showcasing to the public what we're learning here in our classroom and in our shop. And then some of our students live near the park. And so it's cool because they're going to have a daily reminder and forever remember making improvements to that dugout and to their little hometown field, and hopefully with a little bit of pride. So where are we in the project? So far, I'd say we're probably about 90% done. The students rebuilt the dugout that had the fire damage. They rebuilt the roof. They shingled the roof. They replaced the T111 on the upper part around the roof area. On the other dugout, we reshingled it and replaced the T111 to match the one that we had to rebuild. Students replaced or patched the hole in the bathhouse where there was a storm there. Tree limb came down and punched a hole in the roof. And so the kids patched that hole. The only thing that we haven't gotten to is the concrete work that we have in the proposal. Our plan was to do that this fall, but time and cold weather kind of got the best of us this year. We had some colder weather here in the Northeast early. Because of the cold weather and the time it takes concrete to cure, we decided it best to put off until the spring so we can guarantee a quality job and the concrete has time to dry and stuff. So again, guys, I just got to say thank you to Harbor Freight for the opportunity for these community projects. Without you, it would not have been possible. For anyone that's willing, that's here at the webinar, I would recommend taking advantage of this opportunity. I'm not going to lie, it's a little bit of extra work outside your normal day, but the benefits are well worth the effort. So thanks for listening, If you have any questions, please let me know.